Oh my gosh, and then there's a wolf. Oh my gosh. Life is feudal, forest village. Is this the next Banished? That is the question we're going to be answering today by starting with a tutorial because this is the first time I've ever played the game. I've really only played long enough to get my key bindings adjusted, but let's go ahead and just jump right in. Alright, here we are to the tutorial map. This is the new village. During your next several minutes, we will show you the game basics and teach you the main principles. Got it. So this is a top-down game, very similar looking already to Banished. You're dealing with a new village that you're trying to basically have thrive and grow and prevent death and destruction, so to speak. Very similar UI to Banished so far, but let's see what more it has to offer by going through the tutorial as it's intended. So during the next several minutes, we will show you the game basics and teach you the main principles. Each villager must have a living space where they can eat, get warm during the cold months, and have a family. If the villager does not have a shelter, he or she will not be able to eat or get warm. In this case, they will either freeze to death or die from starvation. All homeless people are marked with a special icon. Let's build a dwelling for this homeless one. I'm assuming they're meaning this guy or gal right here. Okay. So press the house group button to open the list of available houses, then press the build house button. Okay, so pretty intuitive so far, but I think that might be partly because I've got so many hours and experience playing Banished and games similar to this. Looks like there's a grid set up here. I know looking at the key bindings, if you press shift click, at least for me how it's set up, it helps to get it aligned with the grid here. But let's pick a spot so that this villager is no longer going to be homeless. Looks like I have a lot of red, which I'm assuming means you cannot build there. Where can we build? R's rotate. Oh, there we go. Building construction site is now marked. All available laborers will prepare resources immediately. Right-click to switch off the building mode. Oh, okay, there we go. Select construction site by clicking on it. You can see building construction progress bar in the upper part of the window, which is this thing here. I'm assuming the fuller the bar, the closer it is to being done with construction. Below, you can see the required resources and construction time. Prepared resources are shown in the upper part of resource block, while total needed amount is in the lower part. So, hence the difference between the numbers here. And necessary building resources are stored at the warehouse. Select highlighted warehouse, which is this one here. Looks like this is the amount of products in it. Do not let it go up to 100% or you will not be able to store new resources. Got it. This is your village overview window. It shows the total amount of all resources and all your storage combined. On the left side of the window, you can see weather and population info right here. So it looks like our population currently, I'm assuming, oh, yep, that is 6 adults, 2 teenagers, and 2 children. So a total census of 10. The total population is shown next to the villager info and name, which we've got. So this is Tutorial City at the moment. All available unemployed villagers will start gathering resources. They take them from the closest warehouse and carry to the construction site. Okay. You need to assign builders. Select the builder under construction. Oh, okay, there we go. Just like Banished, you want to add people to work on the site, or you can also subtract. So we're going to do that there. This is asking us to set 2 builders by using an increase or decrease. So we've got 2 there ready to go. You can speed up time, just like in Banished as well. You can also do it with the number key, which I'm playing with right here. All the required resources are on site. Builders are assigned. Now simply wait for the house to be built. So I could speed this up, but for the sake of playing around in the tutorial, we're going to let it stay at the normal mode. Let's skip this part here. Press the button and window with list of professions will open. That's this one here. Oh, okay. Now you no longer need builders. You can decrease their number. Set the current number to 0 using the interface button or keyboard. Well, this isn't built yet, so we're going to keep that at 2. We'll skip that. All settlers need to eat or they will starve to death. No kidding. There are lots of methods of food production. Okay. All of these methods are listed in the food productions group, which is this tab here. Open it by pressing the button shown. Fisherman's Village, looks like I'm going to be placing this. Choose a place for the Fisherman's Lodge to be built. Just like in Banished, I'm assuming we have to, have part of the pier at least on the water. So let's have it go right there. Very nice. Besides food, you need to collect construction and craftable resources like wood, which is used in the construction of almost every building. Now click on wood gathering and then select an area with trees. Press the left mouse button to confirm wood cutting of it. That's this button here. Oh, how come it's not working? There we go. Click right mouse button to leave the gathering mode. Free laborers will start chopping trees and gather wood immediately. Okay, and it looks like I have 4 of 6 free laborers. Winter is coming. Having just raw wood is not enough. We need to prepare firewood in advance. Let's build Lumberjacks Lodge. Okay, looks like that's this button here and this button from there. Choose a good spot to build. Well, you know what would be nice is if they kind of gave me a hint on where that might be, but let's have it close to the warehouse, which we already established is this thing, or one of these is the warehouse in the middle. So let's plop it down right. Oh, I cannot build in this area. Okay, well, let's plop it right there because I can definitely build there. Wait until the end of construction. Okay, maybe we should speed this up after all. We're at ×5 speed. When it is warm, fields are one of the best food sources. Let's create it. Okay. Clicking the button like it's telling me to. Apparently it has a modifiable size, so we can stretch and play with it. Where do we want it to go? It seems like this area is probably ideal. And there we go. Wait for your builders to construct the field. Okay. Meanwhile, the small house is almost done. Ooh. Villagers can eat common plants as well. These plants can be collected by gatherers from the bushes that grow mainly in forests. Let's build a gatherer's hut. Firstly, we have to flatten the area, as many builders cannot build on slopes. Now press the raise area button. This one. Select a 10 by 10 area, click the left mouse, then choose height level and confirm it by clicking the mouse button again. Look at the time needed for flattening in the setup window. The lower the number, the quicker. I see. Okay. Well, this area seems like one that should be flattened. Oh, okay. So does the number mean minutes or what? They haven't specifically made that clear, but let's do right there. Oh, and we'll want it flat. So right there, it looks like that's like 7 minutes or so. All right, we'll wait until workers finish flattening the ground. Meanwhile, our house is done. How is the woodcutter's lodge? Or Lumberjack's lodge, that is coming along. We'll skip that. In the city window, you can allow or forbid the consumption of each resource. Very similar to the Banished setup as well. Vegetables and fruits are currently blocked. Let's unblock them. To do this, double-click the left mouse button on their icons. Oh, okay, there's a little lock right there. Oh, double-click. Whoops. Okay. If necessary, you can also block them. For instance, if you want to have them built up over time or something like that, I am assuming, would just block them again? How do we do that? Right-click? Okay, now I can't do it. Each resource contains a certain energy and calories, which are vitally important for villagers. Move the mouse cursor to any resource and wait a couple of seconds. You will see a pop-up hint. Oh, okay, like vegetable pie, 56 kilocalories. Fruit, 6 kilocalories. Alrighty here. Different resources not only have different amounts of calories, but also contain different vitamins. For the healthy and happy life of your people, all possible types of edible resources should always be available. Alright. Looks like the basics have been covered. Just one more bit of advice to end on. Keep an eye on your food and firewood balance. Don't let them deplete or your people may starve and freeze to death. Good luck. Okay, not a bad setup for the tutorial, at least thus far. The tips seemed Fairly straightforward. It walked you through how to do everything as you guys walked through with me. Plus, having a background in playing tons of Banished, I think it's like 500 hours or something like that. This seems practically identical to the UI in Banished. So I'm not sure if that's what is giving me a heads up here or how people might fare having no background in Banished with this type of tutorial. It might be a little bit different than someone that has tons of experience. But I guess let's just start playing and see how this goes. We've got our Lumberjacks Lodge done, so let's go ahead and add a person to work here. So it looks like they're going to be taking lumber and turning it into firewood, which is going to be very important in the winter. Our first house is done. Our field is done, so we're going to add a worker to this. I'm not sure what type of... Oh, this is... I think it shows you right here. It's wheat or something like that. So I'm assuming you can make different types of fields, but I can't be 100% sure. But anyway, let's pull up the population menu or the summary here, which is, I believe, this one. We'll pull that down here so it's in a better view. But here we are at spring of year 1. We're at a census of 10. So if we can survive without anyone dying and without our resources entirely depleting within the first year, I would be considering that a mini victory. I do know how harsh Banished in particular could be. But looking at this game in particular, though, it's quite a beautiful game in terms of the graphics, in particular compared to Banished. You can scroll in and have, wow, a first-person view of the scenery is just incredible so far. You also do have the option, I believe, to be first-person with a character. I'm not sure how that works, but maybe we should try that out. Let's go back to a normal speed. Here we've got a fisherman. How does this work? Oh, okay. Here's this thing here. Oh, did anything happen? Oh, what just happened here? I think it, okay, so it took me to his house. But how do I play as him is the question. I don't know. Maybe we can't play as him? All right, here we are as a little girl, I think. I don't know for sure. Oh, here we go. So you can walk around as her. Interesting. So what do the numbers below do? Okay, so right click. You can open her inventory. So you can see here either what's in her, I'm assuming her household, not what she's carrying in her. Oh, very interesting. So you can actually play with and modify the resources that you want on hand, it looks like. But what do the numbers do? Oh my gosh. Ooh, there's a bear. Ooh, there's a wolf. This might be bad. So does it matter? So I'm guessing she's a laborer, looking at the upper left icon looking thingy here. Oh, mine resource. Oh, are we gathering the resource? We are. Look at the inventory in the bottom right, I think. All right. What does the number 1, 2, and 3 do? I don't know. Oh, you can plant a tree? No way. Huh. Who knew? Okay. Well, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of her? Stop it. 6? 5? Scroll out? Oh no, I might have to be here forever. Oh my gosh, I have a bow and arrow. Now, what do we do? Can I jump? How do I get... Oh god. God, I'm stuck. Okay, I'm unstuck. Let's, wow, this game is so sensitive. But, one thing that this has that Banished does not have, for starters, is this first person mode. How do I, can I kill this elk? How do I aim? Oh. Oh! Oh my gosh, I killed it on my first try. Oh my gosh, and then there's a wolf. Oh my gosh. I'm a freaking huntress. Alright, how do I mine this now? Take resources. I'm taking it. I think. I don't know though. Am I taking it? Alright, let's head back home. Oh my gosh, where's home? This way. Wait, no. Where? Wait, no, that can't be right. How do I get home? Oh, there's home. I see houses in the distance. Alright. Well, if only I knew how to get out of this mode here, I could stop being the girl. It might take me a minute to figure this out, but let's head back to the village. Oh, okay. Figured it out, you guys. All it did or took was pressing escape to exit her perspective, but I already have to admit feeling like a badass on my first attempt killing 2 animals. But that's already a really cool extra feature that this game has. How is the village doing? It's been a couple minutes since actually really looking at how it's doing. We've got the woodcutter or firewood maker or whatever he was. We've got our house. We've got our field. Now, I guess what we should do is just worry about continuing to increase our village population, as well as worrying about food and wood, just like the tutorial recommended. So, in terms of wood, I'm assuming we're going to be needing some people to actually harvest the trees. So let's plant a forester's lodge somewhere. Here looks good, because it's going to be right where some trees are. So there's the forest lodge covered. We've already got the firewood maker. Food. What do we need for food? A hunter. Actually, I don't think we have one of those yet, do we? Okay, let's, so that's the hunter's cabin. We're also going to store it nearby. We'll put it right there. There we go. So between those 2 new items, hopefully that will help us with obtaining more wood, as well as keeping up with food production. In terms of our census, we're going to, I'm assuming, need more housing. So, is there... Oh! They're expecting a baby. How cute. Let's build some more housing. I have no idea if there's really an advantage to building one house versus another in terms of population. I'm assuming this house keeps you warmer than the other houses, but let's actually take a look at it. So small house takes 20 of the... I think that's hay. And then 60 logs, 20 of whatever the other item is, and then 20 stone. Do I have enough? I do. So let's build another one of these, huh? Right there, we can give them... Oh, okay. Medium-sized living space where people eat and get warm during cold seasons. Above average... Oh! Above average pregnancy chance. I see. So, in order to promote improving fertility, you want to go for the small house and higher. Let's do it. We want our population to be very fertile here. Okay. Can I squeeze this in here, please? We're gonna give it an oceanfront view. There we go. Alright, so that's gonna get to work. How is our population? We're at 10 right now. Have they had their baby yet? No. So let's speed this along here. And it looks like we have 3 builders. I'm gonna decrease that to 2. Oh, actually, I guess we need 3, huh? Alright, let's put that back up to 3. I really wish I could have more people at my disposal, though. But look at this game. It's just... For this type of game, where it's top-down, The fact that you can also go first person and have these, I mean, it's not like these are graphics that are going to break any records or anything, but for this type of game, it's quite impressive, or at least more impressive than I've seen in a game like this before. How are we doing? Okay, we've got the details here about the village. The forester thing is done. Oh no, and I don't have enough people to actually work in the forestry. Oh, but the small house is done here. We've got 3 teenagers currently living in it, although they are aged 3, 4, and 5. Very interesting. Apparently the kids age up real quick here. So we do need to worry about how we divvy up our population. So let's look at their professions, which is this tab here. We have 0 of 6 available. Oh, in fact, we only have 6 adult villagers total. It doesn't look like you can have teens do work at this point, so that's unfortunate. But we're going to drop this labor tab down to 0 because we don't have any labor work needed right now. So that gives us 3 adults in terms of wiggle room to play with. What do we need? Oh, that's right. Let's have one of them be a forester, if not more. We'll have 2 of them be a forester because I feel like wood and food is what this early game is going to be dependent upon. In fact, how are we doing on food? Oh, and that's ore. Ore, clay, hay. Okay, and then firewood is at almost 500. It's at 457 at the moment. We're gaining in logs. We've got a ton of fish. Looks like we're overall doing okay. Oh, although I did just get an alert that food reserves are low, so maybe we need more food. Crap. All right, well, what should we do for food? Orchard, or we have gatherer's hut? My experience in Banished tells me that we need a gatherer's hut, so let's put that probably where there's going to be lots of herbs and stuff. Probably pretty close to these guys here. Let's do it. And again, I have to change the profession thing. I wish they would give you more people to start out as, and who knows, maybe they do when you are playing a real game besides the tutorial, but for now, I just don't have enough people to advance. So let's, who can we get rid of? We can decrease a forester, I guess. Now we have 1 laborer. Collecting resources from the land. But what we actually need is a construction worker. Okay. Whoop. A baby has been born, and then teenager Kira has grown up and is ready to work. That is fantastic. Did I already use her? I don't think so. In fact, now our census is up to 12. Very nice. We are exponentially growing, although not at a very high rate. I wonder if you can have, like, miscellaneous nomads come in and become a part of the community just like you can in Banished. I have no idea. And so far, despite there being a wild bear amidst our village, he has not killed anyone. So he doesn't look like much of a threat, which is good. How do we see how happy our people are, though? In fact, maybe while we're waiting for just people to do stuff, we can take a look at all of these buttons. So this is the general information tab, as we know. Ooh, and the gatherer's hut is now complete. So we'll add our miscellaneous worker to the gatherer's hut. Okay, so information tab, event log, profession, resources, mini map, tips. Oh, okay, and you can set priority. and village info as we've been playing with, but it doesn't tell me how happy my people are. That's what I want to know. Here's the terraforming tool, which we played with in the very early tips. Collect all resources. This is just to kind of manually force your laborers to pick up everything on the ground, I'm assuming. So maybe we should do that in a confined area just to see what they can collect. Let's do a small little area for starters. Just this little area here. That is not within the wood collection area. We've got the housing tool as we've been playing with. Do they all give me the same? Okay, so the regular house, whoa, that's huge, has a high pregnancy chance. It can fit up to 10 residents. Oh, but we don't have enough logs or stone. That's unfortunate, especially because it technically could fit right there. That's like the perfect spot for it. And then there's the hostel, which is, let's see, what does it say? Temporary hostel, where people eat and get warm during cold seasons. Extremely low pregnancy chance. That's too bad. But it can fit a capacity of 18 residents at a time. Oh my gosh. A baby has been born ×2. And then a child has grown up and is ready to study. Oh, maybe we can build a school. But let's keep looking through these. So we've got some storage options. Oh, even a stables. How amazing would that be? Can you ride horses? That is a question. Our food options, we have everything from, ooh, a fish farm. I don't know how, breeding fish for food. Required bridge pass. I don't know what that means. But it looks like you have to build it entirely on the water. We also have a fish, a gatherer's hut, as we've already built down, the fishery, hunting area, orchard, farm, apiary, which I think is a fancy word for something related to bees, a coop, oh, like a chicken coop? How, oh, it requires oats and water. Oh gosh, and then a hunter is required for protection from wild animals. That's quite complicated there, so we're not going to do a coop. But you can also have a windmill, which I'm assuming, wow, that is humongous, is for converting oats or something like that into bread, or I don't know. And then we also have a bakery here, which might be too ahead of ourselves if we plant that down. In terms of the resource gathering, we have a couple options. You can mine stuff, you can make a mine, you can mine clay. Oh, Blacksmith Shop. I'm guessing that would be important for establishing ore into smelted materials. They've also got a weaver, kiln, Carpenter Shop, furnace, and a blast furnace. Tons of municipal buildings. I wonder if they have like a government building, which would then allow you to see the happiness of your villagers, just like in Banished. They've also got castle structures. Heck yeah. Wow. This is the keep, where if you're really wealthy with resources, you can actually place this down, which is something that I would want to do if I had it. You've also got some pavement, roads, decorations, fencing, and that is it. Okay, let's see. Was there a school in here that we missed somewhere? Because I'm not sure what the advantage of a school would be, but I sure want to find out. So municipal buildings. Oh, there's a school. Wow, that is expensive looking, and we do not have enough. It requires 130 hay, 390 logs, 230 ore, 200 stone, and takes 40 minutes to construct. The only thing we have enough of are the clay, it looks like. So, how many workers do we currently have at our disposal? Wow, and babies keep getting born. That's exciting. Maybe let's, instead of building a school, Let's build another small house, because more housing eventually means more labor. So let's put it down right there. Plop, with another beautiful ocean view. And then we've got a couple more laborers, I think. Where are they? Oh, we're now up to 15 total for the census. We're now in winter year 1. I'm going to slow this down a little bit here. And how are we on our resources? We have 179 logs, 444 firewood, 25 hay, 100 clay, 137 ore, and 22 stone. Okay, so how about professions? We've got 8 adult villagers. Only one of them is currently a laborer. But that's okay. Let's have them just kind of do a mass farming or collection of all resources. Seems like might be a good idea since we're so low on a ton of different things. Let's try and do away from the forestry area though. Just because I don't want to completely deplete our nice forest that we've got going on here in the mill. And then we'll speed that back up again. What was that girl doing? She was just sitting idle. Wow, it's amazing the details even within the buildings is actually really surprising. How do I be her again? Oh, I've already forgotten. I want to go in a first-person mode. How do I do... Oh, that's right. Click her. Is this the same girl I was earlier? It could be. She has not aged much, but can I go out there? Ooh, I can run. Let's see if we can help speed up the farming of the resources. Mine resource. I'm assuming I'm mining it. Okay, now I can't stop mining it. Stop mining. I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, exit out. Exit out. Okay, maybe I just wasn't mining properly enough. All right, she grabbed that rock or whatever that was. I wish there was more of a tutorial on how to like benefit from using the first person mode. There weren't really any tips on what the buttons are when you're in their mode. Because the buttons I'm talking about are the 1 through 6. And I can't, because I'm in the first person mode, I don't have an ability to like mouse over those buttons and see what they do. So I think ideally that would need some improvement. What happens if I interact here? I don't know. Did I just place down something? I have no idea. Okay, wow. And the sensitivity in this game is way too high. I've already turned it down a ton, but might need to turn it down even more. Let's exit out of her again. First person mode, it's cool, but it's definitely not where the game shines. But still a nice feature to have. So now almost 1 year into winter, or into the game, not just 1 year of winter. No losses of life so far. We've got one person that's idle. Who is that? Is the game gonna tell me who's sleeping on the job? Is it someone up here? No? It's not telling me. Who's the one that's sleeping? It is not telling me. Does it tell me if I open the professions tab? Oh, probably this one because there's a 0 demand for laborers. So let's get rid of that. Now we have 2 free people to play with. How are our resources? I think it's easier to look at the resources actually by looking at the resource limits here because it kind of summarizes them instead of having all of the different types of food delineated from each other. it just shows it in a summary. So we have 1,300 food, 418 firewood, 300 oats, which I'm assuming, again, can be turned into some sort of bread product, 66 hides, 21 tools, and then from here is where you can actually edit the caps for resource limits. That way you don't have an overabundance or too much in your warehouse, and don't have people like overproducing when there's not enough demand for it. This is creeping even lower though than I think I should be comfortable with. So let's focus on food at this point. We can add a second worker to fisheries, which is already in the works down here. I don't know if we want it. Let's see. I know we can have crops, but the crops have such a low turnover, in fact, like no turnover during the wintertime, that it seems like that's not the best investment of my resources at this point. Maybe we can add one more to the hunter, which is over here. There we go. So instead of building a new thing, we're just adding more to what is currently initiated. But I still wish I had more people with which to move around with the professions. Can I afford another house? Another fertile house? Crap, I don't have enough hay or stone. How do I get more of each? I need more people. I need more people to farm for me and mine for me. Jeez. Let's see. What do I want to do next? Let's speed up the game. It's almost too slow if left on anything below a ×5 speed. 15 people currently in our census. Where's the professions tab? I'm still kind of getting used to the controls here. This one. So 0 of 8 laborers. We need more labor. Can I afford to get rid of anybody? Not really. Actually, maybe we can get rid of the crop person, because the crop is not currently in effect. So we'll get rid of her, and she becomes a laborer. And then this stuff that is all marked in yellow should hopefully, very slowly, eventually get mined up. And then hopefully our resources of hay will get improved upon, as well as our other stuff, our stone and our ore. So we haven't even gotten to the point where we're figuring out how to use some of our products like the ore. What we do with the ore, I'm not 100% sure on. I'm assuming we smelt it or, craft it into something else. How we do that is the question. Is it with this stuff? No, this is just collecting it. But how do we utilize it? It's not this button. Is it this one? Okay, Blacksmith Shop. Let's look at this. Does it tell me what it does? Tool production. Okay, I'm assuming tool production is necessary. Oh boy, this requires 50 hay, 200 stone. How many tools do I currently have, and how quickly do I go through them? How do I find that out? Go back into the resources tab. Oh geez. I have 21 tools. The oats have not moved. I don't think I'm actually using the oats. And then again, 379 firewood, 1,200 food, 204 logs. Okay. I feel like I'm kind of steady with my resources at the moment. I don't feel super great about them, but at least I'm not falling. And I guess I can't be doing too bad because no one has died yet. Let's speed up the game again. We're going to do a 10 times speed. And then hopefully we can get more people in our city so that we can start doing more with them and start actually playing with some of the other features, which, speaking of the devil, we can do because we had a teenager grow up and is ready to work as an adult. Awesome. So, we're going to keep that new adult as a laborer to hopefully mine up the ore. Not that I know what to do with it yet, but even in its raw form, I'm assuming that I need it for building construction of some kind. I'm surprised there's not like a smelter section, or maybe there is. Is that what the furnace is for? Maybe I should click on all of these things. So, oh, yep, Okay, the furnace casts iron smelting. The blast furnace, all it says is blast furnace. So maybe that just means like a normal furnace, but like 10 times better. We've got the Carpenter Shop, which produces wood tools, it looks like. The kiln, makes charcoal, which I'm assuming is another fuel source. Weaver's workshop makes clothes. The blacksmith, also tool production. I'm assuming this is like iron tools versus the Carpenter Shop just makes wooden tools. And then we've got a clay mine. Okay, wow. So, this is interesting. It's like a heat map, but I'm assuming anywhere that it's green is probably a decent supply of that resource for density, whereas the red, there's like no chance in hell you're going to mine anything there. I don't know if we need a clay mine, though. It's really a priority. But we've also got an ore mine, though, which I cannot afford because I don't have enough logs. So maybe I should be prioritizing logs and stone. I can't make a stone quarry yet. Well, it looks like our laborers are doing actually a decent job. Our stone is increasing. Our hay is slightly increasing. So we're making okay progress. Our census is still 15. We do have a couple more adults than we started with, though, so we're now up to 9. And on top of that, we have 4 babies, which is good because eventually those babies become adults. So I think what I want to do is just let this play out a little bit longer. We'll see what we need to do to maybe get like another building in here, whether it be a tool building, because it looks like we're down to only 19 high quality tools. Just a couple minutes ago, we were at 21. So I can only imagine what happens when this diminishes to 0. Probably means our work halts entirely. Oh man, we're like so low on meat. But it's now spring, so that means this farm should be working again. But I think it is a good idea that we're like canceling the work in the field during the wintertime because it's really not necessary. Can we afford another house? No, we don't have enough hay. How do you get hay? Do you just farm the hay? Does it replenish? This is what is not clear to me. Collect wood, collect stone, collect hay. But is hay a renewable resource? Does it grow back? I don't know. Maybe not all houses take... Oh, okay. I see. So these houses, this one second from the right and this one, I guess this one takes 140. So this house, like an actual house, does not take hay. So if hay is not a renewable resource, it probably would become important to switch from regular small houses and the stuff below that to a house in the future, or else you're just going to not have any ability to make the houses because you'll be out of hay. Good to know. We can probably increase our wood production because we just don't have enough logs coming in. So let's increase that to 2. How is our food? Oh boy. We're at 11:20 and dropping. Oh, our firewood is dropping. Shoot. Okay. I'm beginning to get in panic mode. I know no one has died yet, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Man. It's like, it can go so well because you underestimate how difficult the game is, but then it's like out of nowhere. I'm assuming out of nowhere, just like in Banished, everyone is going to mass die, which I could definitely see happening. Oh, look at all of the trees filling in, though. That's very nice. I'm assuming that's because it's within or nearby the circle of our forestry, which it is. So we've got another person now on the Forester's Lodge. Did I add another person to the Hunter's area? Which is, I don't know. I don't have enough people anymore to allocate them towards projects. But thankfully I don't require any projects needing construction, although I do need a little bit of labor occurring, I believe. What's more important? Wood or food? I think food. Let's decrease the Forester's Lodge and we'll devote an extra person to laboring, picking up the extra crap around here. Resources, food, 1138. Hopefully that number will begin to rise. And as I'm saying that, it's only decreasing. Firewood is decreasing. I'm beginning to get decently nervous. What do we want to do to improve food? Our tools are also decreasing. This isn't looking very good anymore. Who do I have to play with? Oh, good. We still got the laborer. So technically we can get the laborer off of labor duties if needed, but she's working so hard farming those trees and avoiding the bears. Let's just let her keep doing her job. All right, in terms of hay, we're back up to 23, so the laborers are doing some work getting that back up. I think that means we can build another house, but I am worried that if we build another house, oh god, and tool reserves are low, then we're not going to have enough supplies to feed that house or clothe it or warm it or tool it. So since we're getting the notification that tools are low, maybe we should make a tool thing if we can afford it, which is the Blacksmith Shop? No, it requires 50 hay. Why so freaking expensive? Okay, maybe we need just the Carpenter Shop. That requires 40 hay. Holy smokes. All right, everybody. Farm hay. Farm hay all day, every day. Collect hay. Collect all the hay you can. Please collect a ton of hay. Everywhere is hay that I want collected. Do I have any more people yet that are adults? Not really. I've only got one laborer, only 9 adults. Interestingly, there's no tab, at least, or icon so far that indicates like a senior or an elder. I don't know if these people can die of old age or not. You certainly can in Banished. But so far, I would think if you can become an elder, it would already be an icon listed here, but who knows? What do all of these tabs do? Okay, these are just ways to modify the alerts that you get. I'm going to keep all of the alerts enabled because I think that's important to get updates on how your village is doing. We are up to 16 for the census though, which is decent progress. Still no new adults, but we'll get there eventually. Or if not, the city will die out before we can ever end up using the children and babies. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Oh wow, a new baby has been born, but a teenager has grown up and is ready to work. Good, I'm gonna keep that teenager as a laborer to farm hay. That's all I care about. Hay all day, day. Oh wow, I keep on getting more babies. The city census is up to 18. How many adults and children stuff do I have right now? I have 10 adults. That should mean a couple of them I can allocate to other jobs. How are we on our food? We're hanging steady at 1,200 food, 288 firewood, 14 tools. Okay, what was it I was wanting to make just a minute ago? I think it was the blacksmith or the carpenter smith or whatever it's called, which is this thing. So, carpenter shop. Can I afford? Phew, I can afford it. Ooh, I even have an extra little bit of hay. Go me. So let's get rid of that. Where can I fit this though? I'm running out of space that's flat. So it looks like I'm gonna have to use that terrain tool, which is here. And we will terraform it. Actually, Oh, no, 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 no. Let's do just right behind here. There we go. And there we go. I'm not sure if that was necessary. My city keeps on popping out babies. That's probably not a good thing right this second because I don't know if I can afford all of them. Laborers are busy at work, doing labor things and primarily collecting hay, which is good. How are our resources? Ooh, we've got another child grown up and they're ready to study. I'm assuming, so like this age here, so child age or teenager age means you can go to school. But I don't, again, know what benefit that necessarily has yet. Does it say? A school. Oh, it improves productivity. That's good. We also have a port, which organizes and searches for useful resources. We have a tavern, which improves happiness. That's super important. We have an herbalist's hut, which is good for medicine. Healer's shop, also good for healing, obviously. A pyre. Oh, cremating the deceased. That's morbid. Can you turn them into fuel when you cremate them? If not, that is a very missed opportunity. Crypt. Burial of the deceased. Wow, this game is dark. And then what else? We have a well. Okay. Which we already have right there, I think. Alrighty. So let's see. I imagine we should be able to make the blacksmith's thing at this point. Where did that go? Oh, and I'm just about 50 stone shy of being able to make the legit blacksmith shop. So instead we're going to just make the carpenter shop. Which, oh my god, this is humongous. Looks like we have to terraform a little bit more land, unfortunately. And let's try and make it even. The terraforming tool is kind of awkward, I will admit, because it's kind of hard to see just where level is, if that makes any sense. Logs, it looks like, are hanging kind of steady. Firewood is actually increasing a touch, it looks like. How is food overall? We're having, like, no meat, but we've got bread dwindling. We've got an okay amount of vegetables, though. And thinking about it, since this produces wheat, what do I just turn that into bread? Or, like, how does this become something that feeds people? That's the question. I don't know. We'll answer that question later. I wish my people would continue to terraform properly. We've got 2 laborers currently at the moment. And they're working on this. Wow, that is some uneven land. Flatten. I'm not sure how this works. The funny thing is, a lot of these features in the game are very intuitive and others are not intuitive at all. Let's try and flatten this out. Because that looks horrible otherwise. Can we fit the blacksmith's thing in yet? Or the carpenter's thing? Or maybe even the legit blacksmith. Oh, we still can't afford it. Okay, let's do the carpenter shop. If I can place it in this area, which I still cannot. Can I fit it over here? No. Can I fit it anywhere else? Geez, so much terraforming is required. Maybe we can terraform over here as well. Hopefully between the 2 areas they're playing with, we'll get some area of flat land where we can eventually place a blacksmith or carpenter shop. Okay, this area, mostly flat. And the funny thing, the blacksmith's shed is so much more compact than the carpenter's. God, and I still... Oh, I can just barely fit it right... Oh, I had it a second ago, right there. Okay, let's have them face the tool shed. And I'll place it right there. Perfect, and we'll add in one constructioner right there. And we have our kids continuing to grow up. We're up to 10 adults, 5 children, 5 teenagers, and 4 babies, or toddlers, or what have you. Terraforming is beginning to occur over here. How's our overall food production? Because it really does look like food and firewood are really important. Food is hanging like pretty steady at about 1,200. Doesn't seem very good. I would certainly rather have that number be much higher, but it hasn't really fallen. So it's hanging out pretty stable for now. I would like to do more about that and increase food production if only I had more people with which to do that. How's our population? We've got 1 laborer right now, or unemployed persons, and then just 1 construction person. So once we get more people that are just kind of sitting idle and not needing to do labor work, we can give them actual jobs. But until then, we're going to let them kind of stay in this current status quo. All right, the Carpenter Shop is done just in the nick of time because we're down to 11 tools. And those are the high quality ones. So this one I think will only produce the primitive tools, which is correct. So that's this tab here. But we're going to set someone to work there. Oh man, and it looks like it requires 3 stone and 1 wood or 1 log per tool that's made. So I guess that will mean we're going to end up using more wood and more stone for tools than other projects, which is where I wish we can have those resources allocated, because I would love to build other things in the community, like a school, or it looks like you can even upgrade the shacks into, you know, better housing. I imagine you just press this button here. We're not going to do that right now, though, because I want to see if we can allocate resources into other stuff. But in terms of preventing a complete catastrophe with lack of tools, I think we've mitigated against that crisis. Logs were hanging in steady. Firewood is hanging steady. Overall food production is, I think, the big one. So we're a little bit lower than the 1,200 mark that we've been mostly steady at. So I think we should probably allocate a couple more people to food, either collection or something like that. I wish I knew what would happen. Like, can we make, we can make an orchard, but we can make other fields. We could just do oh, I guess we can't do a small one. I feel like probably there's other better ways to improve food. So let's have another hunter maybe. Where's my hunter's shack? That's the gatherer's hut, forester's lodge, and hunter's cabin. Oh, apparently I don't have enough people. It looks like I'm only harvesting like 20 meat per year. How many calories? That's only 8. Meanwhile, there's things like honey pies, fruit pies. I have no idea how to make that stuff. In fact, how do I make bread? Oh, I'm assuming I bet we need the windmill and the bakery. The windmill will convert the oats into, like, what? Oat products. Whatever oats turn into. And then the bakery is probably what converts the flour into bread, which I am not even remotely ready for. How about let's add in another person to fishing. Oh, no, I can't, apparently. Where is my professions allocated? Let's get rid of those. So now we have 2 extra people to play with. We'll add 1 to fishery. And let's do, for the sake of it, let's do another 1 to hunting. So hopefully our meat production can at least double for the year by having an extra person. But I really would love to be able to do a school or something a little bit more complex. How are the rest of our resources? Tools are we even making any yet, really? We've made one. We've made one tool. I guess that's better than no tools. Can we make anything else? No, we cannot afford the school yet. Cannot afford the tavern. Some of these items might just be closer to like mid or late game options. So I think apart from just waiting around and literally playing the game further into out of the early game, which I imagine we're still in, we're probably going to end this episode here. So this has been my first impression of Life is Feudal Forest Village. Is it the next Banished? My answer to that is yes. It has superior graphics to Banished, but still the same overall play style. A very similar UI, similar aspects of the game, but a lot of refinements have been made to this game. You can play first person, even though that's not 100% ironed out with the kinks. It's still a feature that the original Banished game does not have. The graphics are better, the music is great, and overall it's enjoyable to play. So if you're looking for a top-down, godlike game to play that's more into 2019 than very old versions of similar games, then this is a good bang for your buck. Let me know if you guys are interested in seeing more content like this, but otherwise, I'll plan on seeing you guys next time in a video, hopefully very soon.
Da